Shedeur Sanders strikes back. Rookie QB battles front office rift and Kevin Stefanski's headache in Browns QB dilemma. By ABF Sports. When the Cleveland Browns selected Shedeur Sanders in the 2025 NFL Draft, many fans saw a flicker of hope that the franchise had finally found its long-term quarterback. After all, Sanders had dazzled at Colorado, producing a highlight reel of throws and a reputation for poise under pressure. Yet now, just weeks into the Browns' off-season training period, that narrative has hit a wall, and the tension is rising. Despite head coach Kevin Stefanski's early optimism, it appears Sanders is being quietly marginalized in Cleveland's crowded quarterback room. The front office isn't united behind him, and instead of being nurtured as a future franchise centerpiece, the 23-year-old rookie seems to be fighting just to be taken seriously. The tension behind the scenes is thick, and the spotlight is now squarely on Sanders, not just for his throws, but for how he responds to adversity. In this slow-burning quarterback saga, Sanders may be turning into both Cleveland's wildcard hope and its internal headache. Draft day doubts, a rocky welcome. When Shedeur Sanders' name was finally called during the 5th round of the 2025 NFL Draft, the energy in the Browns' war room was anything but celebratory. According to reports, owner Jimmy Haslam had the final say on the pick, but the body language in the draft room told a different story: uncertainty, reluctance, and what one insider described as walking on cacti. Despite the lack of consensus, Stefanski publicly embraced the selection. "Once you're in the building, nobody really cares where you were drafted," he said, hinting at a clean slate approach. Clearly, Shedeur has the talent to go higher in the draft. Our job is to dive in and help him. But that promise has rung hollow so far. During rookie minicamp and subsequent OTA sessions, Shedeur was seen throwing passes to secondary receivers, while veterans Joe Flacco and Kenny Pickett took center stage with first-team reps. Even fellow rookie Dillon Gabriel seemed to be slightly ahead in the rotation. It didn't take long for fans and media to ask the inevitable: is Shedeur getting a fair shot? A divided front office and a complicated depth chart. Reports out of Berea suggest the Browns' leadership remains divided on what to do with Sanders. Stefanski seems wary of handing over the reins to a raw rookie. Meanwhile, GM Andrew Berry has been more future-focused but non-committal. And Jimmy Haslam's draft day decision hasn't translated into consistent support for Shedeur since. This internal conflict is reflected in the current depth chart. Most analysts and insiders see Flacco leading the way, followed by Pickett and then Gabriel. Sanders is often mentioned last, if at all. Veteran Browns analyst Terry Pluto delivered a sobering take. For Shedeur Sanders, the reality is he's no longer special. Not in the eyes of the NFL. Only 7% of starters come from the 5th round. But despite this brutal math, Pluto also acknowledged Sanders' intense focus and preparation. He's impressed the Browns with his work ethic and serious approach to learning the offense. But these are glorified touch football practices. Trade rumors and a statement in the rain. As if the pressure wasn't high enough, whispers of a potential trade began circulating, with the Browns reportedly considering offloading one of their QBs before the regular season. Sanders' name emerged in speculation. But if the front office expected the young quarterback to shrink under the weight of rumors, they underestimated him. On a recent episode of the Barbershop podcast, Browns insider G. Bush revealed what Sanders had been doing with his downtime. In a viral clip, Shedeur was spotted in Florida throwing dots in the rain, wearing green shorts, a white Henley, and notably, his Browns helmet. "He could have worn a baseball cap, a visor, any of that," Bush said. "But you know what he told you? Whether y'all wanted it or not, I'm gonna just keep showing up." That helmet wasn't just gear, it was a message. Despite all odds, Shedeur Sanders is still repping the Cleveland Browns. Energy they don't like. Sanders isn't backing down. That viral video was more than just workout footage. It was a declaration. Sanders isn't going anywhere, and he's doing more than just surviving. He's challenging the culture. "Where I go, I'm trying to elevate the Cleveland Browns to a different level," Sanders reportedly told a friend. And sometimes when you go to a different level, you're going to have people in your organization that don't like that. It's a bold statement, especially from a rookie who hasn't taken a regular season snap. But it's in line with what Sanders has said from the beginning. When asked what motivates him, he famously said, "I'm here to prove myself right." That mindset may be exactly what Cleveland needs, or exactly what they don't want right now. Because instead of playing the good rookie waiting his turn, Shedeur is forcing the coaching staff to acknowledge him. And that pressure is falling squarely on Kevin Stefanski's lap. The Stefanski dilemma. QB headache grows. For Kevin Stefanski, 2025 was supposed to be the season he finally found quarterback stability. Instead, he's managing a four-way QB conundrum, with a front office watching every move and a rookie quarterback making national headlines without even playing a down. It's a nightmare scenario for a coach on the hot seat. Does he go with the experienced Flacco to buy time? Or roll the dice on Pickett, whose inconsistency with the Steelers still lingers? Does he believe in Dylan Gabriel's speed? Or does he take the ultimate gamble and give the ball to Shedeur Sanders, the most talked about rookie since Johnny Manziel wore orange and brown? According to ESPN's Dan Orlovsky, Stefanski might not have a choice. Shedeur is custom-made for Stefanski's offense, Orlovsky said on NFL Live. He's a cerebral quarterback who thrives in play action and rhythm. You don't draft a guy like that to hide him on the bench. Even former wide receiver James Jones weighed in. Flacco? He's not the answer, he said. Pickett may be ahead, but if it's not him, Shedeur is the most talented guy on the roster. Minicamp numbers don't lie. If there were still doubts about Sanders' performance on the field, they were answered, at least partially, during the Browns' recent minicamp. Sanders posted the highest number of touchdowns, 9, and completions among all quarterbacks during red zone drills. His chemistry with the second-team offense was electric. More than once, onlookers and beat reporters remarked on his deep ball accuracy and quick decision-making. In private, even some members of the Browns staff have admitted that Shedeur is way ahead in terms of mental processing compared to most rookies. And if that weren't enough, Sanders has continued training solo, working with private QB coaches and posting cryptic motivational content on social media, adding more mystery to a storyline that refuses to fade. Supporters are rallying, dog-pound roars for Shedeur. Even as the coaching staff remains non-committal, Sanders is rapidly becoming a fan favorite. Browns fans, known as the dog pound, have flooded social media with calls for Shedeur to get a real shot. Former NFL tackle Terron Armstead even suggested that Week 6 might be the moment Stefanski hands Sanders the keys to the offense. The way he's trending, if Pickett or Flacco stumble out of the gate, it's going to be Shedeur time, Armstead told CBS Sports. Darryl Colbert Jr., founder of Select QB Athletics, has known Sanders since his early teens. Even back then, Shedeur wanted to work harder than anyone, he recalled. He would come to throw with me when he was still in middle school. That fire hasn't gone anywhere. The clock is ticking. Will Sanders get his shot? Training camp is just around the corner. Preseason games are closing in. And while other players are enjoying their summer, Shedeur Sanders is working harder than ever to write his own story. Dylan Gabriel is training too. But unlike Sanders, he hasn't been thrust into a quarterback controversy that spans the front office, the coaching staff, and the fan base. The stakes are sky high. Stefanski's job may depend on getting this decision right. For Sanders, every snap in practice, every throw in a preseason game, could be the difference between fading into NFL irrelevance or becoming the next Browns hero. Final thoughts: culture clash or spark plug? Shedeur Sanders isn't just another rookie. He's a symbol of tension within the Browns, between old-school caution and new-school confidence, between skepticism and swagger. And while some in the building may quietly hope the storm dies down, Sanders shows no signs of stepping back. He's too proud, too driven, and too talented to sit quietly. Whether he's viewed as a locker room distraction or a future franchise leader depends on who you ask. But one thing is clear: Shedeur Sanders is not here to wait. He's here to compete. And whether Kevin Stefanski likes it or not, the Browns' quarterback battle just got a lot more interesting.